So the problem now we have here is this. Andy can do work in 14 days, and working together Andy and Bill can do the same work in 10 days. In what time can Bill alone do the work? I'd like to ask you to pause the video and think about how you're going to solve this problem before you watch how I'm solving this problem. Okay, so the first part of information on the problem is this. So Andy can do the work in 14 days. There's a work, so Andy did a work, but we don't know what kind of work is that. So just we know it's just kind of one work, and Andy and Bill can do the same work in 10 days. So when Andy and Bill work together, it takes 10 days. The work amount is one work at this time. The question is in what time can Bill alone do the work? So when Bill do the work by himself, how long does it take? That's the question. So let's look at the information we're given. First, for Andy, it takes 14 days to do one work. From the information, we can find out the work rate, which is how fast Andy work rate of A. By work amount, dividing the work amount by times 14 days, we'll get the work rate, so which is 1 over 14. The unit will be work and days. Then can you find the work rate of B? No, we can't. From the second part of the information, since the amount of the work done by Andy and the amount of work done by Bill, we know these two amounts, when we add up these two amounts of work, it should be one work. And the time it took was 10 days. So since we know the work rate over A, which is 1 over 14, and then we know it takes 10 days, so we know actually the work amount over A, let's see, work rate times the time, it took 10 days, which is 10 over 14. The day they canceled out, so we have only the unit of works. So we know it take the work amount of A is 10 over 14. Since A is 10 over 14 work, we don't know how much is B's the work amount done by B. let's say B. But when we know when we add up these two work, it should be one work. So by subtracting 10 over 14 work from each side, we know the amount of work done by B is 4 over 14 work, because 1 from here 1 minus 10 over 14 is 14 minus 10 equals 4 over 14. So now we know the work amount done by B is 4 over 14. Then can we find out the work rate for Bill? Yes, because we know the work amount and then we know the time. So the work rate of B is the work amount 4 over 14, that's work amount, and divide by times. It took 10 days. 10 days. Which is 4 over 14 times 1 over 10. The unit should be work and days, which is 144. That's the work rate of a beer. Now the question is, but by the way, there is an assumption for Andy and also for Bill, these people's work rates always the same. So now the question part is, in what time can Bill alone do the work? So the question is, when Bill do the work, the one work, how long does it take? How do you find out the time? When we divide by the work amount, which is one work, and because it should be one work because Bill is doing the whole work by himself. And then the work rate, which is 4 over 140 work and days. This should be time. Takes time to take. So 1 work times 4, 140 over 4. That's the number, which is, if we simplify these numbers, divide each two numbers by 2, we get 70, and here 2. We can simplify more, so we divide by two numbers by 2, we get 35, and we got 1 as a denominator. So the answer is 35, and the unit is, there's a work and work, so it should be cancelled out on your days. So the answer is 35 days.